Erling Haaland lives to score goals after helping Norway secure World Cup qualification for the first time since 1998 with a brace against Italy. We are asking, could he reach 100 goals in a single season? Well, he took his tally to 32 in 20 games for club and country last night. On current form, Charlie, if he plays 60 games, that would take him to 96. So we've got some very intelligent boffins over there who've been crunching the numbers, and they reckon he could play well over 70 in the Premier League, and if Man City and Norway go deep in their respective tournaments as well. It's a big ask. Could he get the century? Could he get three figures?
The fact we're having this conversation is quite scary in itself, right? Let's be honest. If he plays 70 games and he continues on that scoring route, he's going to run it close. The biggest thing is if he stays fit, of course, because it's a big ask, 70 games. But it's Erling Haaland, the way he's performing, the way we see him play week in, week out, club or country, different competitions, he's just someone that is obsessed with scoring goals. So would it shock you that Erling Haaland could go close to scoring 100 goals in a season? No.
Lionel Messi's got 91 in the calendar year 2012. Ernst Wilimovsky, you familiar with him?
Yeah, it rings a bell, mate.
1940-41, he got 107 in a football season. So it has been done before, a long time ago, though. If you had to choose a striker in world football right now, you've got so many good ones. Mbappe, you've got Kane, you've got Lewandowski. I mean, Mbappe and Kane are banging in goals as well.
I think the argument to that, Matt, is on their different types of... They're all strikers, but they're different types of strikers. He is a goal-getter.
Yeah.
They're all match winners, but he is someone that lives and breathes 18-yard box, ball comes in, goal. Running 1v1 with a goalkeeper, you just think every time it's going to be a goal. He is someone that just purely focuses on scoring goals. Yeah. For me, he's the best goal-scoring striker in world football.
Yeah. Have you ever seen someone like that who, as you say, he just knows where the back of the net is. He just feasts on goals. He knows how to score. If he doesn't score in a game, you're surprised.
Of course, you take Messi and Ronaldo out of the equation, right? Take them out of it. They're not big strikers, but take them out of it. You think of all the good strikers, the top strikers we had in the Premier League. You talk about Aguero winning golden boots again and again and again. But no striker's ever been like Erling Haaland in the Premier League. If them strikers didn't score, it'd be like, that's okay. If he doesn't score week in, week out, everyone's shocked and surprised. And that is the biggest thing. And now it's going the way, what he's doing for Man City, he is now going on to do for Norway. And they are for me, a team that you wouldn't want to play and wouldn't want to face because whoever's got Erling Haaland in the team's got a chance.
I was going to say that. Are they a bit of a dark horse for the World Cup? I mean, you think about Martin Odegaard, could be there feeding Haaland. Oscar Bob playing off the right. Sander Berge plays for them as well. They've got Christopher Ayer from Brentford.
Like they've got the players, right? They have got the players. Depends on the draw and how it goes, etc., etc. And you'd have to argue and say it's the defensive frailties that you'd look at because all the names are at the top end of the pitch. Yes, Christian Ayer, but you've got the top. He's the man who takes all the headlines, right? But like I say, you wouldn't want to face a team in knockout football like Norway, with Erling Haaland up front. Imagine you have all the possession in the world, you just can't break them down because you play like a low block as a team, and then one big long ball over the top, and the big number 9's running through one-on-one with a goalie. Well, 9.9 out of 10, he scores and it's 1-0.
Yeah. So just to confirm, you are having Haaland at the moment in your team ahead of Mbappe, ahead of Kane, ahead of Lewandowski.
It's not even for me, it's not even a debate.
Not a debate?
No, he's a standout. Goal scorer, number 1, number 9 down the middle. Yeah. Mbappe gets the ball and runs from the bottom end. He's just thinking touch, pass, cross, goal.
Yeah, all right. I mean, hard to argue with.
There's some players behind us, but you can choose someone else who's missed out on that list. Everyone at home, let us know. You know how to do that. But Stephen, go on and make your case.
Granit Xhaka. He is a captain of old. He is on the pitch, he directs the tempo, he decides whether we take the drop in midfield pass or the long pass up the flanks. He tells everybody where to go. He's like another coach on the field. It's like an enormous training session, and he's in charge. And everything about where Sunderland are and the results they have in the league and continuing all the way to the end, all those standards and those demands and that drive is set by him. And I think he's really showing you what a really good top quality captain can do to transform a team. So he must be.
You've made a good case there, Stephen, I've got to say. Johnny, anyone on that list for you, or have we missed someone?
I think Pedro was a great signing for Chelsea, but I actually agree with, I think Xhaka's been the best signing. While Tamada's been fantastic for Newcastle, but I think Xhaka, for what he's doing at Sunderland, is phenomenal, and I think he's the best signing so far.
Daniel?
I think one that I might regret saying actually is Martin Zubimendi. So Zubimendi at Arsenal. I know he's angry. I'm sorry, but let's be honest. Let's be honest, man.
Dan, what are you doing to me here?
Good work, Dan. Good work.
Listen. I mean, I really regret saying it, but he is by far one of the best central midfielders I've seen in Spain. And he's definitely performing for Arsenal, and that's something that we would like for ourselves at Spurs as well.
Mind games, Jamie. He's just putting pressure.
Jamie,
he's putting pressure on them.
Come on.
You've got Arsenal shirt on under there. We need to get him out in the break.
Not in disguise. Not in disguise.
James, is it obvious what you're going to say?
Yeah, and Mbeumo's been our best one, but I think you definitely Xhaka argument for the best overall is there. And obviously, growing up as a kid, he loves Sunderland as well, so it's good to see him go back to his boyhood club.
Katie, at Bournemouth, who've you got? Is anybody saying that we're missing anybody?
Listen, I could make a case for Adrian Truffert. For Bournemouth, I could.
Fair point,
In terms of the fact that Milos Kerkez has gone to Liverpool and maybe not performed as well as they'd have hoped, and obviously cost us a lot less. But in terms of what the others are saying, I think Granit Xhaka across the Premier League probably has been the best signing in terms of the fact that the experience he's brought to a promoted club. We've seen previously in the last few seasons that the promoted clubs haven't perhaps had that stability, and he's provided that for Sunderland in their hopes to stay up and currently qualify for Europe.
Well, touch wood, Jamie, I'll get to you in a moment. But, go on.
Hand out the award right now. I mean, it's universal, isn't it?
At the moment, Joe?
I can't think of a Palace player, unfortunately. Pino's the only one, but he's still coming up to speed. But for me, Granit Xhaka. Like, the leadership quality that he brings, I mean, they're in the top 4. I mean, it's ludicrous. So, Zubimendi as well, I will give... sorry, Jamie, I think Zubimendi's been really good. Eze, not so much, unfortunately, from Palace perspective. But Kudus as well. I'm surprised you didn't say Kudus, because he's had quite an impact for Spurs.
It's a good point, Kudus is definitely one. But it's because when I'm seeing the influence so far, Zubimendi's been standing out so far for Arsenal, really.
But it's Xhaka, isn't it? It's definitely
Yeah.
By far.
I think people forget
Javi Simmons, I was going to say. Javi Simmons.
Xavi.
A great start to the season.
What about Florian Wirtz? What about him?
Everyone's opinion is valid.
I think Xhaka. You talk about leadership, you talk about a club coming up from the Championship, everyone expecting us to finish bottom, and
No. Didn't expect that.
Well, maybe not you, but everyone else did. But, fair play to him. Jordan Henderson as well. I mean,
Brentford,
we've got to talk about him. He's come in,
Underrated.
everyone was thinking he was the forgotten man. He's gone in at Brentford. They're doing really well, And Donnarumma. I mean,
I think value for money, Champions League winning goalkeeper, 26 million.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone else made a signing as good
Big
as that.
surprise when he went for that fee, wasn't it?
Liverpool.
That could be a good sign.
I don't think that's arguing.
A few there. Right, okay.
The future of Ethan Nwanery's potential loan move is suddenly uncertain, as Arsenal remain wary of repeating past setbacks caused by injuries. According to recent reports, the club is open to sending the young midfielder out on loan this winter, but the idea raises immediate questions. Nwanery has become the talk of the moment after a report from the Daily Mail suggested that Arsenal are considering a temporary move for the 18-year-old. Despite his limited minutes this season, the thought of letting him leave, even temporarily, comes with significant doubts. Back in October, Mikel Arteta publicly insisted that Nwanery would have plenty of opportunities to play, pointing to the fact that the teenager had already been called upon when Martin Odegaard was injured. "I don't know, but I don't work with expectations," Arteta said at the time. "I work with what the players can give in the context of where the team is at that moment." Ethan played 2 Premier League matches early on because Martin was out. He's played in other competitions and he'll play more. Yet the reality has been very different. Nwanery has logged fewer than 500 minutes this season, appearing in just 5 of Arsenal's 11 Premier League games, none of them as a starter. His only starts came in the 2 EFL Cup wins over Port Vale and Brighton, and in the 3-0 Champions League victory against Slavia Prague. The arrival of Ebereki Eze and the promotion of Max Daumann have tightened competition even further. And despite injuries to Odegaard, Bukayo Saka, and Noni Madueke, Nwanery's pathway has only narrowed. It's easy to forget how young he still is. At 18, and having first debuted at just 15, like Daumann, these are formative years where consistent playing time is crucial. The busy festive period could open that door, but with Odegaard, Madueke, and Kai Havertz all nearing their returns, there's a real chance Nwanery could slide even further down the pecking order. This is why a January loan sounds logical on paper, but it also sets off alarm bells. Arsenal's season has already been shaped by injuries for the second year in a row, and squad depth has never felt more essential. A single setback among the attacking players over the holiday fixture run could thrust Nwaneri back into an important role almost overnight. The more sensible approach may be to reassess in the summer, once the squad naturally reshapes and the club have a clearer picture of their needs heading into 2025. Only then would a loan feel more secure, ensuring Nwaneri actually gets the minutes he needs rather than risking another stalled development. Even then, nothing is guaranteed. Supporters will remember Serge Gnabry's loan to West Brom, intended to push him closer to first-team football, but ultimately a move that derailed his progress before he rebuilt his career in Germany. Arsenal's recent history with loans has been mixed at best, and too often unsuccessful. For now, the club must weigh the immediate needs of the squad against the long-term growth of one of their brightest prospects. Whether a loan becomes the right option, or another cautionary tale, remains to be seen. But the complexity of Nwaneri's situation extends beyond simply playing time and squad depth. Inside the club, there is an ongoing debate about how quickly young talents should be exposed to the pressures of elite-level football. Some staff members argue that Nwaneri's technical level is already above many players his age and that keeping him close to Arteta's structure will accelerate his development. Others believe that without consistent starts, and without a clear pathway to earn them, his progress could plateau. The uncertainty has also stirred conversation among supporters and pundits. Several former Arsenal players have expressed concern that the club may be repeating old patterns, where promising youngsters become trapped between first-team aspirations and inconsistent minutes. Others, however, believe the club is being careful for the right reasons, protecting a player who still needs physical development before facing the demands of weekly Premier League battles. This internal and external pressure has placed added scrutiny on Arteta's handling of young talents this season. While he has been praised for trusting academy graduates in the past, the balance has become harder to maintain now that Arsenal are competing on multiple fronts and aiming for silverware. Every decision carries weight. Resting senior players risks losing points, while overusing inexperienced teenagers risks injury or decline in confidence. There is also the broader question of what kind of loan would actually benefit Nwaneri, should the club eventually decide to pursue one. A move to a Premier League side fighting relegation could offer minutes, but expose him to a demanding environment that prioritizes survival over development. A championship loan, on the other hand, might provide consistent matches, but at the cost of adjusting to a more physical style that does not always align with Arsenal's tactical identity. European options have been mentioned as well, though not confirmed. The possibility of joining a club in the Netherlands or Germany, leagues known for nurturing young talent, has been discussed quietly among observers. Yet Arsenal are hesitant, given how unpredictable such moves can be and how often they fail to produce the expected results. Meanwhile, Nwaneri himself remains focused and professional, according to those around the training ground. He is said to be eager for opportunities, but not frustrated or discouraged. The coaching staff admire his attitude, which only complicates the decision further. He is doing everything right, and still his future remains uncertain. As Arsenal approach the January window, the club finds itself at a crossroads. The next few weeks will likely be decisive, not just for Nwaneri's short-term career, but for how Arsenal choose to manage their most gifted prospects in an era of high expectations and relentless schedules. Any decision made now will be examined closely, not only because of what it means for Nwaneri, but because it will signal how the club intends to balance ambition with development as they move into the next phase of Arteta's project. Arsenal now face a difficult setback. Piero Hincapié may have to step into the North London derby under less than ideal circumstances after Gabriel's injury blow. The club is hoping that Hincapié's long late return trip to North London won't affect his readiness to replace Gabriel against Tottenham, because losing the Brazilian for such a crucial match is a major hit to Mikel Arteta's plans. Arsenal have already been forced to cope with key absences at various stages of the season, but Gabriel missing the derby presents a challenge of a very different magnitude. Naturally, the focus shifts to who will fill the gap on the left side of Arsenal's defense, and for many, the most logical answer is Piero Hincapié. The summer signing impressed during his only start for the club so far, an outstanding display at left centre-back in the League Cup win over Brighton. That night, he partnered with Christian Mosquera, who is also an option for Arteta on Sunday. One possible configuration would see William Saliba move to the left, with Mosquera taking his place on the right, depending on how heavily Hincapié's international travel weighs on Arteta's decision. And that travel is far from insignificant. The Ecuadorian defender is currently away with his national team. He captained Ecuador during their 0-0 draw with Canada, helping secure the clean sheet. But the real concern comes with his final international fixture. Ecuador face New Zealand in New Jersey in the early hours of Wednesday morning, UK time. The match kicks off at 1:30 a.m. and is expected to finish around 4 a.m. Only after that will Hincapie board his flight back to England, meaning he won't arrive in London until Wednesday afternoon at the earliest. From there, he will have just a handful of days to recover, settle back in, and prepare for one of the most intense fixtures of the season. The slight silver lining is that the derby falls late in the weekend, giving him as much time as possible to reintegrate. Still, the timing of his return is far from ideal and adds yet another layer of uncertainty to Arsenal's defensive preparations ahead of a match that could define their momentum for weeks to come. Beyond the logistical headache, Arteta and his staff must also consider the physical and tactical demands that a North London derby imposes. It is not the sort of match where a defender can arrive underprepared, particularly against a Tottenham side that has looked sharp in attack this season. Any hesitation, any lapse in intensity caused by travel fatigue, could be costly. Inside Arsenal, there is a quiet concern that the club may once again be walking a tightrope with its defensive depth. Over the past 2 seasons, injuries at the back have forced Arteta into uncomfortable choices, and Gabriel's setback reopens a conversation that the club hoped was behind them. The manager has repeatedly emphasized the importance of continuity across the defensive line, especially given how central the high defensive line and controlled build-up are to Arsenal's identity. Gabriel and Saliba have been at the core of that stability, and disrupting it inevitably changes the team's rhythm. Analysts close to the club have noted that Hincapie's profile fits the role well, confident under pressure, quick across the ground, and capable of progressing the ball with either foot. However, they also caution that he is still adapting to the Premier League's pace and physicality. Throwing him straight into a derby environment may accelerate his integration, but it also carries risk. Supporters have expressed mixed reactions as well. Many are eager to see Hincapie given a real opportunity, believing his style suits Arsenal's long-term plans. Others worry that asking him to deliver immediately, under difficult circumstances, could place unnecessary pressure on a player still in the early stages of adjusting to English football. The timing of Gabriel's injury also complicates Arsenal's broader goals. With a congested winter schedule approaching and the title race tightening, every match takes on heightened importance. Dropping points against Tottenham could shift momentum, not just in the standings but in confidence across the squad. It also forces Arteta to rethink how he manages minutes for defenders who have already logged heavy workloads this season. Club insiders say the staff have been preparing contingency plans for weeks, anticipating scenarios where international duties and injuries overlap. Yet even the best planning can be stretched thin when travel delays and late-night kickoffs are added to the equation. In the coming days, the medical and performance teams will conduct assessments to determine exactly how ready Hincapie is for Sunday's showdown. Arteta is expected to make a late decision, balancing long-term health with short-term necessity. The hope is that the Ecuadorian arrives in good condition, responds well to training, and can at least offer a reliable solution in Gabriel's absence. What remains undeniable is that Arsenal enter the derby under a new layer of pressure, forced to adapt, to trust their depth, and to test the resilience that has been a defining theme of their season so far.